Hey guys, so this camera is awful, and let me explain why and what's going on. So, and then we'll get into what I want to show you guys and talk about. Okay, so basically, this camera is like really terrible because my other computer has been hacked, and it's been an ongoing thing. This is my other computer that my aunt gave me for my birthday, and I'm really bummed out because it's a really good computer and it has a lot of life left in it if it wasn't hacked for the fact that it was hacked, and the cost to fix it is kind of high. So Black Friday came, and this little computer here, it's really cute. It's like a light purple color. I can't tell you like the name of it or all the specifics because I'm afraid that maybe cyber security wise it might not be a good idea. But this one cost me $129 on a Black Friday sale. So I purchased it just until I figure things out. And I also needed it for school because sometimes this one was so bad that I couldn't even like upload things or even um, go live at all. So I'm checking this one out to see how it goes and as a backup, not as a main computer, but as a backup at least. Um, but yeah, I'm proud of myself for figuring out some stuff. I was able to download like Open Office and download this other free computer program to do some editing that was free. It's like a free program because I've been having trouble with my editing software. That's another whole issue. On my other channel, Mommy Cast Reborns, we are going to be doing Vlogmas. Um, Okay, so Music Fan asked, "Hey Astral, how are you?" So I'm not feeling super great. If I have to leave fast, I will have to leave fast. But let's just talk about my musical instruments and where I got them and how much I paid for them because, I definitely should not have gotten so many of them, but hey, what are you gonna do? So, and I'll tell you guys because some music fan asked, "Where'd you get them and how much did you pay for them?" All right. So I'll show you the best instrument, one of the best instruments of the house, and this one is a Yamaha, and you can rent something like this. This is like a rentable. When I was in fifth grade, it was gifted to me. Instrument like this is over like $1,000 or something. Well, I don't know how much it was, but it has a beautiful tone and it sounds amazing. On some other day, I will also show you guys how they sound as well. But basically, yeah, this one was my most prized possession for so many years. I got it at this place called Music and Arts um, Center, but it used to be called Ted Herbert's, and like you rented it to own it basically. So that was my first instrument I ever got, and I was in fifth grade when I got it. And I try to keep it up. I try to polish it and maintain it because it's a really important instrument for me. I love the sound of it. It's beautiful. Now for the grand reveal as to what my next new instrument is going to be and how much it cost. My friend is buying me a piccolo. It was used off of we had to wait because there was a Black Friday sale where some of the piccolos went on sale on Amazon. And this one normally goes for like $100, but we got it for $50 open box. Now, that being said, I'm fully expecting that when I do get it, it will need to go straight to the shop to be checked for leaks, be repadded, anything that's, and it probably will cost at least $40 in repair in order to get it to sound good and be playable. Now, that's just the way it is when you get anything from Amazon, except for brass. Anything brass you get from Amazon works straight out of the box. The action is slow on the valves. Okay. All right. So, my first instrument I want to show you, I get most all my instruments from Amazon except for the ones I make. This one is a Kaiser. It's not like, I think, it's kind of an off brand, but it's really has a really nice tone to it, and it plays nice. I don't play fast enough to worry about the action on the valves being kind of slow, but I can't remember how much I paid for this, but basically normally it goes for a lot of money, like a few hundred, and I because it was the box was open and already had been tried before, I got it for like 130 something bucks, I think. So I get everything pretty much. What you do is when you're on Amazon, you press the used box, you tick off the used box, and you cannot be as picky about the sound or the way the instrument looks at all. You have to just go with whatever is there. They tell you what condition the instrument is in, like if it's in like new condition, used condition, and all the rest. Open box. If it's fulfilled by Amazon Warehouse or Amazon Prime, that's the way to go. All right, because if it's misrepresented, So that's this instrument here. This is what I use for practice. This is what I use for lessons. I love it. It's called a Kaiser. I recommend it highly. I love this instrument. I love this trumpet so much. It's just my favorite for like beginning, and it just has a really nice tone to it, even though I don't play it very well yet. I love it. Absolutely no complaints from me at all from this instrument. Like, this is a really good trumpet. It really is. This is my favorite mouthpiece, and it's already kind of tarnishing, but it's by Pay Titty or something like that. I paid like a quarter of the price that this it's like a bullet shape. I pay a quarter of the price for this than what it normally went for, just by going and ticking off the used box. It's my favorite mouthpiece. And that's because, honestly, they sell things so much cheaper used. Like, you just can't be picky about things. So if you cannot be super picky about the color of things when you do it this way or anything. But for somebody learning or just getting started, this trumpet came with a Yamaha mouthpiece, and this mouthpiece is not my favorite, but it works pretty good. So yeah, it was, now that's my other favorite instrument. So I would say that this is my third favorite instrument in the house, or even second favorite. Now, my second favorite for sure is my Jean Paul. Now, this is one that I use all the time. Every day I use this. This is my Flugelhorn. This is my second favorite instrument, and it's my second most valuable instrument in the home. So, well, that is actually debatable, because I do have a hammered dulcimer that might be more valuable than this, that I made because of the time I put into it. It might be worth it more, but anyways, this was original ask price of $699. And it's a Jean Paul, I think it's called, but these are just probably off-brand names. I don't really think anyways, like, oh, it's a Jean Paul, I want it, like, probably not. Like, I think what happens is these companies will take these unbranded Chinese, instruments, and they make their own name, and then it falls under their umbrella. They stamp it with, they do their own quality control, stamp it with their name, and then they become a vendor. So I think that's what really happens. And it has like a few different colors, like rose gold, silver. The action on the valves is kind of slow. I've been having trouble with the spit valve, like, wicked bad. Like, I've been having a lot of problems with that, because like I have trouble emptying the spit valve, and it just doesn't come out when you try to when you try to empty it, like it doesn't reliably like come out or anything. It's really gross. But anyways, besides that, I the original price was $6.99, but I think I got it for like 200 like 70 or something because somebody opened the box and didn't like it and sent it back. But it was in new condition when it arrived to me. So that gives you like an idea. Sometimes you have to be patient, and right now is not a great time to buy anything because of inflation. So this is definitely one of my most valuable instruments and favorite in the home. And I use it all the time. In fact, I use all three of these instruments very frequently. These are the most frequently used instruments in my home. All right. So now we're gonna move to like I don't know. I don't know how this happened. Like I was not supposed to like get into instruments at all. Like this never was supposed to happen. Don't know how it happened. But this is my nerdy gurdy hurdy gurdy. And this was an impulse buy, and if I can sell it, I will sell it because I'm just trying to get it to work properly first and adjust the tangents before I sell it. But hey, if anybody wants to make an offer, let me know. I freaking hated this project with this one. Like I feel very bad for the company because the lady was so nice to me, but it was a really difficult project for me. And then I realized I didn't really love the sound of the hurdy-gurdy. It's not even really playable yet, so I'm still tinkering with it. So anyway, this is my hurdy-gurdy by Nerdy Gurdy hurdy-gurdies. I made this instrument. The kit was expensive. The kit was like $300. And then I get the kit and I realized it did not include any of the hardware with it, like all the metal stuff or anything. I thought I was being frugal. Silly me. And I ended up having to buy like over $100 of extras. And the lady was so nice. She tried to send me like extra stuff, and I wanted to really help the like the whole situation by giving an awesome review, but I just inevitably found out that, okay, well, this actually is not my kind of an instrument. But we're still going to work on it so we can get it to work. And I will be doing some stuff with it. I do have a book that somebody gifted me. And so we will be playing it. I just have to keep on working on it. So actually, to be honest, the project was very expensive. Um, don't really feel like, I mean, hurdy-gurdies are such a niche thing, and they're kind of like a hard thing to buy. And so frankly, I think I don't know, it ended up being, I'm embarrassed to tell you how much it ended up costing me, but I would say it was at least $420, and the price just got jacked up so fast. That's why I'm not really I would like to learn how to play, but this is one instrument I kind of regret buying because it was extremely expensive for something that's not really playable yet. So anyways, you know what, I can probably bring it to a luthier and have them kind of just adjust it for me and it will be playable. But basically, let me see if I can open it. But basically, I made hinges on this, and you open it up, and these are all the tangents, and you push these keys, and it makes this terrible noise. There's a lot that went into making that instrument, and that's from the company Nerdy Gurdy. Despite it all, it's the least expensive way to get started playing hurdy-gurdy. So, I painted it, put it together. It is a blue color, and that's because I screwed it up the first time and had to make a decision on it. And actually, it looked like an avocado at first. It was like fluorescent green, and it just looked horrible. So, yeah, I had to redo it. And so I stripped it down and I did like blue and black to make it work. Now now, so that's a little bit of interesting.com. So that is the least expensive way to go about getting a hurdy-gurdy. And just assume that you're going to spend like 420. Well, why it ended up being 420 is because of the stickers I put on it, which are made for guitar or something, for and the purfling, I think it's what they call, which is this color, the stuff around it. That was my choice to put that there. It's called purfling, I think. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, it's for guitar, not hurdy-gurdies. I don't know what I was doing. This instrument here is my so yeah, that one's going to be up for sale on my Etsy once I get it working. Now, this is my hammered dulcimer that I made, and I took designs from coloring books that I love, and I would burn them into my art. Um, so yeah, I mean, I used tongue oil for the top. I used this kind of stuff on the bottom. Um, so I put this together. This instrument is from Grassroots. Oh no, sorry, what is it? Yeah, Grassroots. You can find the kit from Grassroots, and I have to say that it is playable. It needs to be tuned again as the strings stretch and stuff. And I also got these hammers that I also put together because it's cheaper to put things together. I was supposed to go on a retreat and try to get what do you call it? A scholarship to go on a retreat. And the guy was like, oh, like the hammer dulcimer you have isn't like good enough because it's not like the right size. So I was trying to like do what they wanted so I could go on this retreat, and then I had to do it like the cheapest way possible. So I purchased this kit, and it's a long story. So I purchased this kit because he said the smallest size that you can get away with is like a 15-14 size, and he kept on telling me, like, he was very picky about the instrument I chose, and like I would recommend this one, and he didn't understand I was on a budget or I'm broke. So he kept on being all like, oh, that's not going to work or this and that. And I was like, oh no, I said to him, I'll go ahead and I'll get a 15-14 size, and then I purchased this kit, and like everything with going on this retreat hinged upon whether I was able to build this kit or not. And the guy was like, okay, great. Like, let me know when you're finished. And I did. And he just like would not talk to me after that, basically. So I don't know, like, with my autism, it's kind of hard to understand but then I started to think, like, I don't want to go on this retreat because I've like worked really hard. And I even like took like a picture of the finished thing that I made. And it wasn't like, oh, good, congratulations, you fulfilled like the goal that was nearly impossible that I set before you. And like whatever. Um, I can't remember how much this kit cost. I think it was like 300 something. That's a lot of money for me. And um geez, I'm embarrassed about it because like I really wanted to the retreat was like next to the ocean, and it was supposed to be this like really calming experience where, you know, so yeah, like I ended up not even applying for the scholarship and deciding not to go because of my health after all that. Can you imagine? I know, I feel like a dunce, but what are you going to do? I have at least a beautiful instrument here, and I'm going to learn how to play it anyways. So, what are you going to do? So, but yeah, this one, if I get it working, is going to be up for sale. We're going to flip that. All right. So, yeah, so I do have a stand for it that we're going to make. It's right there. All right. This is my harp that I've embellished and stuff like that. And On the back, there's like embellishments. I made this from a kit that I got from Etsy from Backyard Music, and it was kind of expensive. It was like, I think it was for the kit $200. I wood burned both sides. Like, it's probably not the smartest investment, but it sounds beautiful. I don't mind, even though it's late. Try it. That's it's a beautiful sounding instrument. I don't regret it. The only thing is, the box is cardboard, and I think it's like, I don't know how many strings there are, but check out Backyard Music on Etsy, and the kits are there. I might get some of the prices wrong, but hopefully not. Now, this right here is my Nautical theme hammer dulcimer I made. Now I basically did a light blue color. And this I got from Etsy for like $120-ish. Now I made it. It was a kit from a long, long time ago, and they don't sell this kit anymore. Don't know the brand and the name or anything, but basically, this I tried to get. I tried to get this as a. Oh my god, my back's itchy. I tried to get that initially for the retreat, because the one that I bought from Goodwill, they were not sending me. They and I thought they canceled it. So then I purchased this, and then the guy from the retreat said that's not going to be good enough. So then the response was for me to basically have to buy a third dulcimer, which was ridiculous, and I'm embarrassed about. But hey, so if you can actually see in here, it has the name of me, the maker. There's a little doll cut out on there, and the decorating on it is from coloring books that I traced on there. It has like all this stuff on it, and the pins, the hitch pins, and the zither pins were so rusted on this that I had to put them in Coca-Cola. I think you can find that on my other channel or on this channel. And I had to sandpaper all the pins down in an effort not to spend more money. So some of them are a little tarnished, but they are so much better. And then I use coconut oil on each of these pins and lovingly tried to remove the rust from the pins. And now they are playable. I also sanded and coconut oiled every single string, so I didn't have to buy new strings. But then I strung it incorrectly, so it needs to be restrung. So I had to buy new strings anyways. So anyway, that was kind of a nice, that one's a work in progress as well. So the only working instrument in this corner is this harp and this here. And this is a work in progress. And that's a work in progress just to get it tuned, and that needs to be restrung. So yeah. Now this is my cello, and this one I got from eBay. I don't remember. I think I spent not a lot on it. Like 106. Well, it was a lot for me, but I put on a credit card, so it was like $160. And then I got it, and I realized it's so damn ugly, and so it's a really inexpensive one. So what I'm doing is I'm actually stripping it down, and then I'm going to wood burn it, and then I'm going to I'm going to wood burn it, and then I'm going to varnish, stain and varnish it. Now of course I'm new at it, so yeah, And I actually have some Swarovski crystals to embellish the tailpiece and the tuning pegs as well. So I actually am going to do like some finite like wood burning over here all around, and then maybe put like a picture or image here or here. I don't know. I haven't, decided yet, but basically that's why there's like a patch missing, and we're getting a detail sander so that I can sand it down, because like if you actually look at the instrument, it's very sloppy as far as like the paint job on it is like super sloppy and just looks terrible. Like, so I'm like redoing it completely and trying to make it look professional and just stunning. That's my goal. And then I might upgrade if I get interested in cello. I might upgrade some stuff. But if anything anybody sees on my show that you like, and you want me to like get a wiggle on it and just like finish it, and you want to buy something you see, aside from the instruments that are my main instruments, I am willing to sell. So my main instruments are the two trumpets I just showed you and my flute and a saxophone, and my djembe, because I play that every weekend at the African Drum Circle that's free. But beyond that, if somebody's like, hey, can I buy this or can I buy that? Like, yeah, I'm willing to sell anything that you see here. So, I mean, I'm not like opposed to selling at this point, except actually the big hammer dulcimer, I don't want to really sell because it's always been my dream to play that. But other stuff I'm willing to kind of sell. Like the Nautical theme hammer dulcimer, I'm willing to sell. There's a lot of other stuff I'm willing to sell. So just hit me up if you're interested in buying anything, because I'm not like opposed to selling at all. In fact, like I would love to flip some of this stuff so that I can make some money. And that's always in the back of my mind. All right, so here we go. So we might, this one, okay. So this is Jake's Cabin Dulcimer, and I got that for like $140 or something like that, from the Goodwill. And that was because I didn't think Goodwill was going to send it, and then they did last minute send it. This one actually I'm giving to Grampy Pat as a present for Christmas. So this is a gift to him because it sounds beautiful and it's in tune, and I know he's going to love playing it. So I'm actually gifting it to him. He doesn't know that yet. So this is a gift for him. And it's a really nice one. So that's a gift for him for Christmas. All right. Let's see. So this one was a gift that Grampy Pat bought me. It's a Medini pocket trumpet. So this one is like if I'm visiting somebody's house and I want to practice. This one, you're going to love it. It's so cute. Look how cute that is. Holy cow. It's adorable. So this was a gift. But you can get this on Amazon. It really does play nice. And it's by Medini. It's red. It'll set you back about, $100 or something like that. I don't know. Prices are going up nowadays. So, I may be putting some stuff up for sale because I don't need like every single thing I have here. I just, all right. This is my violin, and this one was like, I don't know, I got this one on sale, but I can't remember. I think it was like $75 or something like that when I think about it. Always wanted to play violin, and yeah. I splurged on a nice bow. So this bow is a pretty nice bow called a glacier. Because people were saying, if you get this kind of violin, you need a bow. That's the violin. It's like this nice light purple color. It's inexpensive. I don't know what company it is. I think it's like an unbranded from Amazon. And I put a special fingering sticker on it to help me teach myself how to play because it's not my main instrument. But I just absolutely love the color of it. It's like a light purple. It's the same color as like my computer screen thing. So that's cool. So it's a 4/4 size, of course. But yeah, I mean, they say, you might want to switch, strings and stuff when you get the cheap ones. Um, they'll be like, the strings are junk and blah, blah, blah. And they're pretty much right, but all right. So this right here is something I made. This one costed me, this is from Amazon, and I think Pat bought me the kit, so it didn't cost me anything, but $27-ish. But I made this. It was already put together, but I don't know, it was my first instrument I made, and it's the first one. And it has, a flower on the back and stuff that I did. And it's wood burning that I took from one of my favorite coloring books again. And I made like a little thing in there. So I think this it set him back about $40 just for the wood. And I just used my own stain and everything that I already had here. And then I did purchase this like little bag to hold it in because I worked my butt off on this and I definitely want to protect it. Although there's like a lot of mistakes with it, I did my best. So what are you going to do, right? Sometimes you just have to plunge in there and all right. So this is a Medini clarinet, and it actually plays pretty good because I've heard Krista play it, but the reeds in it are no good. So this clarinet is a plastic type clarinet, and it was $45. Okay. I did choose to upgrade my mouthpiece to this mouthpiece called a Premier, which I bought used on Amazon for $7.99. But the ask price was like $45. So yeah, and I don't really even notice a difference between that and the mouthpiece that comes with this instrument. I'm actually not opposed to selling this because honestly do not enjoy playing it at all. And at least, I didn't spend over $45 on it, so that's good. So it's like a white. It's like I think I showed you. It's like white. It's like a white plastic. It's because I couldn't be picky about the plastic or the color or the because it was like an open box on Amazon for like $45. So yeah, I consider these kind of like investments. So I'm like definitely going to probably open an eBay account very soon and sell off the stuff I don't want. I will buy it cheap and I will sell it for a reasonable price for everything. Because let me just say, if I buy something though, that doesn't mean that I didn't have to pay to get it serviced. So like with the clarinet, I had to pay like $40 to get it repadded. Okay. So not every single pad, but a few pads had to be done. So if I do sell that or flip it, basically what you're getting is a playable instrument straight out of the thing. And I can have somebody like demonstrate how nice it sounds and everything. Because what you're getting if you buy it from, the company is an instrument that's going to need to be serviced. Whereas this already happened. So this was my first trumpet and it was $75. It is an Easter, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb here, but the slide does not work that great on it. And I was like, hey, When I first started, I would have to use like one hand like that instead of just like go like this, the way I can do now. So I'm just gonna say this straight up. If you get an Easter, you really need slide grease. You really need slide grease because um, the action on the valves is pretty good actually. But my friend hates this. She absolutely hates this trumpet. She's like, "Oh my god, it's like the worst." Oh, I think I did get it used too. It was like an open box or something. I don't know. I can't really remember, but basically now I was able to put slide grease, so it's still kind of hard with the slide, but it's not for 75 bucks. It was a really decent deal. And I mean, if you have a kid in band or something, it might frustrate them though, but if you're starting lessons or something, or if I think it's a pretty good deal actually. But I definitely say you have to grease your slide, like get slide grease. Don't because I mean being new, I didn't know that was even a thing, and I'm like, oh no, and I would like be playing, and then it would say use your slide, and I would have to like stop what I'm doing and Mark has got one in red. I wish I could play it for you guys. I haven't played it in a while, but Krista absolutely cannot stand this instrument. Like she's like, "Oh, I hate it." Um, uh, I I keep it as a backup because I feel like when because I got a scholarship somewhere, like they were really nice to me and they helped me. Like I don't want to ever be without a trumpet for the rest of my life. The way I feel about it. So no matter what kind of financial issues I'm in, there's always got to be a backup in my mind. So I'm not, it's that important to me now that I started playing. I really enjoy playing, even though I'm not that good. So I, I'm just very, I know a lot of musicians at the school I go to, they'll only have like one instrument and it's a really good quality. But when you take chances and buy these kind of shitty quality instruments, you really should have a backup in case one breaks. Because I always hear, oh, I got this instrument and 6 months later it doesn't work anymore. Well, if 6 months later it doesn't work anymore, I'm going in the room and getting this if I have a lesson so that I'm not without an instrument. That's the way I feel about it. All right. So now this is now you'll appreciate this. This one, you can guess the price on this one. This one was from DH Gate. And this one comes with a story. This is one of my favorites. It's a backup flugelhorn, or it might be my main flugelhorn. I haven't decided. If I'm in a concert, I do not. This is more of a recreational flugelhorn. If I am busking on the side of a street, I would use this one because it gets more attention. So, this one for attention grabbing because it's pink, which is my favorite color. But if I have like a concert to do or something, like with the school, then I would use the other one because that's more of a professional looking. This was free. So the reason why this was free was because I purchased it from DH Gate, which is a like I bought this wholesale. And what happened was, you know, from like a wholesale seller. What happened was it was supposed to come, it was like part of the pandemic. It was supposed to come in time for my lessons because I wanted flugelhorn to be my main instrument. Okay. Flugelhorn and trumpet, but I love flugelhorn. I love it. So I was like, okay, that's great. Well, they never delivered the instrument. Like they didn't deliver it and stuff like that. So, yeah, they didn't even bother. And then I was like, okay, what the actual heck? So then I tried to get it and I messaged them and blah blah blah. And they're like, "Oh no, it's on its way." And it was months later. And so I fought with them. They gave me my money back and like I would swear it was like 2 weeks later it arrived. To a month later it arrived. And so I was like, "Well, that's not, you can't just let the merchant like lose a product or something." So I did contact DH Gate, and I let them know. I was like, hey, you didn't, you gave me my money back, and then I did get because of the product not being arrived, blah, blah. What do I do now? And they said, just keep it for free. So, but I was like, but the, seller didn't get, but he probably had insurance. So anyways, so this was my free Flugelhorn. And by that point, I had already had to purchase a different one because I thought I got scammed, and I thought it was like lost in the mail. Things during this pandemic have been ridiculous, really ridiculous. But anyway, I probably am going to keep that as a backup as well, because the instruments I have aren't like very expensive or like very. So I just feel like it's really important to have doubles if an instrument is a cheap instrument in case one breaks. So, if it's your main instrument or one of your main instruments. All right, the last one that I have in this room that I want to show you is this. This is one of my favorites of all time instruments. Like, oh my God, I love it. It's a saxophone, alto saxophone. So, actually, I'm probably going to put it in here because now I did have this case that came and it had a scratch on it. And this was when I wasn't lucky. One of the times where the open box where I was not lucky as I hoped I could be. But basically, this says my name on it because when I got the case, there was a scratch in the case, and like a scratch all the way through. So I like duct taped it, and then I put on the other side a Velcro patch to cover. And then I went on Amazon and I actually got this patch new. Oh no, my computer's being dumb. Hold on. When I buy something I want new, I definitely don't want, it to not look new. But basically, I got this box secondhand here from Amazon because somebody didn't like how it smelled like chemicals. And frankly, I don't like how it smells like chemicals. So we're going to put it in this case here. Actually, I think we're going to put it in this case here because I can't take it anymore. It's so smelly. Now, when I got this instrument, the original ask price was like $250, but I got it for, so smelly. I ended up getting it for like, I think it was like 130 actually. So yeah, this is my Glory saxophone and it's in like some sort of copper color. And I got this on Amazon under the used, but here's the thing. It said it was in fair condition. When it arrived, somebody had clearly dropped the sax on the ground. And I had to bring it to the shop and I had to, I have a shop that's very reasonable priced. So the guy from the shop, it was this part on the top that was all bent and it still looks kind of bent a little bit, but, it was like a little bit bent here. A little bit, and that's why it was cheaper. But the people who returned it didn't, tell them. So they didn't know. So he had to iron out the kinks there, and then it cost me kind of a little bit of money actually. I can't remember how much it cost me in the shop. I think it was like at least $30 too. And he tightened some stuff up and he did some magic and it works really good. It has a nice sound. I really love it. And, yeah, it was just it was one of those times where I didn't get lucky, you know what I mean? Where there was, noticeable wear on the instrument. whoever used it hard. So yeah, but but here's the thing. It ended up, working really well, and they fixed it and it's really good. But yeah, it was pretty. I got these, even these little pieces here, these little rubber thingies. Even everything was inexpensive. Like I would get it kind of used or whatever. Like everything I would do, I try to get used. Like even this box of reeds is like used. So like normally they would be like their Bravo reeds, 5 premium synthetic reeds, and I really love these reeds. But they affect the way that I sound in a bad way because they're too like thick. But you know what, like when you're on a budget or whatever, you're not going to look the gift horse in the mouth type deal, because the Cello reeds that came with it are not that good, and I at least can practice with these. So yeah, let me just, even this, it was used, even these things were used, even like the neck thing, I got this used as well. Like everything is used, everything. So and I'm very picky. I'm not picky about the product necessarily. It has to be a decent product that is worth it. But I am very cheap when it comes to stuff. Like I will not buy it unless it's a really good deal. So like, oh, $35, $5 off would not cut it for me. This was like $7.99, or something. Like these are Bravo. I can't remember exactly, but I did not pay a lot for these, and the ask price was high. So I do recommend, if you're on a budget, it's kind of like, go ahead and, try to, even your ligatures can be secondhand on Amazon. You really don't need to, sometimes you can get lucky, and tend to, and nowadays it's not the same anymore. Like everything is like different because of inflation. But I was very, all right, so there, now we put that away. So I'm going to show you another thing I got for free that I fixed up on my own, that I'm gifting to my uncle for Christmas. And look at my tort. Hi. Hi, you. How are you doing? Did you poop a lot? Sir poops a lot? Hi. Hi. I'll turn this off for a little bit. Wait on. So, come on, let's go. No, Dory, let's go. Dory, come on. Dory, let's go. Dory, go. Oh my God. I don't feel bad. Oh, he's sleeping. He's so cute. You're so cute. Okay, I love my tort. I never thought I would love a tortoise so much. All right, so the other thing that was free was this. I found somebody throwing it out into the dumpster, and this was the one that was free. And and I was like, no, what are you doing? And she's like, yeah. So at the time it had no pins in it, none of these things. None of these. It didn't have one of those saddle thing there. All that is me. I put that in there myself. I put all new strings, which I'm very festive. I picked like different color strings. I put all those are new. Didn't really. I got a new. This pick guard is new. Because it didn't really have a pick guard, and even the strap is new. Um, there is some lifting on the on this bridge thing here, a little bit. It's lifting a little too much, actually. I don't really like that. But, yeah, it's not that great that it does that. But, I fixed it and as much as I could, and, just didn't notice that. That's not good. It's not really worth, like, fixing more than that, but basically, yeah, so I think I need to just, like, tighten it a little more or something, but yeah, they had it outside, and so I fixed it as best as I could as a project, like a little project. I mean, when it's tuned, it sounds good. I mean, how long will it last? I don't know how long it will last, but there is some pretty bad lifting here. But it might last for a little while. So, and I put a lot of work into it. I actually did these custom pins here. I bought these to put on them because I liked how they had the red, like, up here. And I thought that was, like, really cool, and they kind of expensive to do that. I think the repair cost me like $20 or so. But it was more than that, I think, because I had to, a little more than 20, because I had to fix the tuning pegs. I had to fix the strings. So yeah, that's a present for my uncle. That's his present for Christmas. And because he plays guitar and he is on a limited income and stuff, and he does not have a lot, like, of money and stuff. So yeah, that's his gift for Christmas. Now I'm gonna put it in a gig bag and just, like, give it to him as a backup guitar for himself, because he only owns, like, one guitar and he's getting back into it, he told me. So yeah, so that's a gift for him for Christmas, I've decided. So I spent a lot of time working on it, actually. Oops. So I think, honestly, what do I think about nice instruments or really good ones? Like, if you are like, okay, I want to play this instrument or whatever, like a certain one, and you have it in your heart, you want to play that, and you've always wanted to play that, go ahead and rent to own if you want to, if you're going to take it really seriously. But if you're just trying it for the first time, you can first check out Amazon as, like, secondhand instruments, and, you can try it and see what they have there first, because, like, it will save you money in the long run as far as your fees. Unless you're taking it super, I know myself, and I know that I'll play every day, but I have learning issues. So I probably, unless like, there's a point at which you might find your instrument holding you back, but I've never found that with me, really, yet. So once you feel like your instrument's holding you back or you can't move forward because of the instrument you have, that's a good indicator that you need to upgrade to the next thing. It's, like, super hot in here. So I would say that that's a pretty good indicator you need to move up to the next level. That being said, I don't really see that happening for quite a few years with the instruments I have here. I do see some people, and I kind of think it's kind of funny. Like, they'll, no offense to some people, but, like, they're basically playing Twinkle Twinkle. They go out and buy, like, this really expensive instrument, and like, that's something they really appreciate. So like I totally am happy for people like that. But you know, you can get by playing a few years on some of the things that I play on. Um at least like I mean, as long as the instrument holds up. Like I would say the instruments that wouldn't hold up that I wouldn't recommend is like okay, the Glory saxophone, right? Like that would probably last me for, you know, at least 2 years, but people are saying, "Oh, after year 1 it stopped working," you know? And it doesn't make sense to do a hard repair on it because the cost of repair is like more than, but at that point, this is what I would recommend. At that point, start renting an alto from like a reputable rental place, rent to own. So if you have, you try a Glory or something like that, or you try an Easter, or you try these brands or a Medini from, Amazon, and you got it secondhand, that's a really, as long as, it's, it, like, as long as it's working, you're good, right? But then if it starts to crap out on you, I wouldn't recommend buying another one of them. I would recommend probably considering, rent to own something, because if you've stuck it with it at that point to that far, then you want to rent to own something that's going to be a more decent quality. Um I would just say these are good beginner instruments. Now, as far as my Jean Paul and my Kaiser trumpet, those work for me really well. And I would expect me to be able to play those for quite a few years. I would say at least 4 years I'll probably get out of those. And if I don't and they break, I have some in the wings waiting, so that I won't lose my spot at the school, you know. Um, I'm doing it on the cheap. So, you know, because the instruments that you buy from these companies and I mean that you rent are very expensive. And yeah. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to renting in the future and whatever. Like I have my eye on a few different ones that I like. But like I was, I when I pick the instruments from the other thing is, okay, here's the other piece of advice. When you're picking an instrument out, okay, from Amazon or from eBay or from whatever, there's certain things that you're not going to see or hear, and you don't know what the instrument sounds like. So what I recommend is you look up people playing those instruments on um on YouTube, because that's what I do. I go on YouTube, and before I commit sometimes to buying something, I will look up a video. Oh, Medini piccolo, Medini this or that pocket trumpet. You know, Kaiser this or that. And sometimes they won't have it because it's just like a new emerging thing. I really disagree with people saying I wouldn't buy of those other companies. Like, only stick with like Yamaha, or only stick with Bach, or only stick with. Okay, first, I don't agree with that. Or only stick with Jupiter, or only stick with, or these set companies that we know about. You can find a diamond in the rough. I feel that I have found a few diamond in the roughs. Like I like my Jean Paul. I really like that instrument a lot. And that is a really nice instrument in my opinion. And I really do like the Kaiser. I feel like it sounds almost as good as the box that I've heard in band if it's played properly, although the action is a little slow. Although with my learning disabilities and stuff like that, my action in the valves does not need to be fast until 4 years from now. So it's a good starter. And then a lot of people like to upgrade to a more intermediate instrument at a certain point, anyways. So I don't feel at all cheated or like I got the short end of the stick. I feel rich. I have a taste of decadence at a really inexpensive price. And so to me, I mean, for an instrument, to me, I feel very happy and grateful. Um, but yeah, trying to think of other things I wanted to like bring up. So I do think that I'm just gonna have to disagree with people who say, oh, I would never buy or I would recommend against buying these kind of brands. Um, because, look up people who actually own these brands and what they're saying about it. You know, um, and like the quality control on some of these aren't as good, you know, but the Kaiser is just such. I literally got one of those brands that they were telling me about, and I paid way more money for it, and I had to return it because it did not sound good. It sounded muffled. It was, and the one that was from this brand sounded better. The action was better on the valves. It just overall played more smooth, like it felt more smooth. It just felt like it belonged in my hand. And even though I'm like brand new and I don't sound that great, I can tell it had we had potential. Like I know I personalize, like I personify my instruments sometimes. I'm sure a lot of musicians do that. So I was like, wow, this is really good. Like it felt like a comfortable pair of running shoes, And I'm like, wow, this is gonna work out really good. Um, so please consider, giving it a try if you're new and you're on a budget. Don't like fret if you can't get a Bach or whatever. That being said, be careful because from DH Gate and some other Chinese sellers will sell instruments they call Bach or other brands that are reputable names, but those are not real. Those are knockoffs. Okay. So they do sell knockoff instruments like, oh, this is a Bach trumpet, a Bach con. Like, it's not. It's just this knockoff thing. But I'm talking a lot, and I know. Um, as far as making your own instruments to save money, which is why I make them, um, I make them for two reasons. I save money and I enjoy it. So those are two reasons. I would not recommend necessarily doing that. Um, if you because you're gonna spend a lot of time like literally adjusting your instrument for a really long time. Like you're not just like, oh, I'm done, a one and done. It's you still keep on messing with it until you get the sound you like, until it's tuned, until it's where it needs to be. So it's definitely something that it seems to me becomes like not just, oh, I put this together and now it's finished. And especially if you've never made an instrument like the ones that I have here, because like I've learned that I was stringing it all wrong. And unless you have somebody helping and advising you, you're not going to save a lot of money if like you build it incorrectly. You could lose like hundreds of dollars if you screw it up. Oops. Anyways, so like, at least two of them over there are being still worked on. Um, they're not they're not done yet, but they're not also like complete lost causes. Um, so I just need help getting the hurdy-gurdy tuned and the other blue hammered dulcimer needs to be restrung. After it's restrung, I need to figure out how to tune it, which is a really hard thing to do because you have to figure out where the bridges go. Because if you don't put the bridges in the right way, the whole project is just simply untunable. And this is all stuff that I wouldn't have known if I didn't consult a teacher. So, um, yeah, so I did. I got a teacher for a few lessons to help me with my instruments so I didn't blow all this, like, But then again, it's an investment. I am going to be selling some instruments and everything that I make and do and stuff like that as part of my Etsy or part of my eBay journey. Um, and I will, yeah, you have to remember too that it's your ear is different for the sound than others. Yeah, and because especially if you're like new at it, You know what I mean? And like I just want one more disclaimer. I am a beginner. Okay, so this is just my opinion as a beginner. I feel that the instruments here that I've told you guys about um have been pretty good, except the ones that I've mentioned. So I definitely would consider purchasing a decent if you want to play a hurdy-gurdy, um, just I don't know what to say. I don't know. You have to make your own decisions, but it's very expensive. It's very expensive. I wish I had never because I kind of wanted to do it, but it wasn't like just as I wanted to make a harp, you know. Now I do still want to play it, but I'm a little bummed out because, it's going to cost me money to get it adjusted. It's probably going to cost me about $40 to have a luthier adjust it for me. I can't do it. I've tried already. There's a group that tries to help us, but it's still hard. I don't know what I'm doing wrong because I've done everything by the book. And, you know, so it's like really when a project doesn't work out and you've spent a lot of time and money and or what you feel is time and money. I mean, like what other somebody, the 14, 15 size hammer dulcimer was well worth it because it is actually playable and I can tune it. So I just need to practice tuning it a little bit more as a string stretch. So that one's tunable. But uh, I don't know, guys. It's hard. It's definitely not something that you're going to be able to necessarily pick up without instruction, without somebody literally next to you showing you. Like it's really seriously that difficult. Um, and I'm really good with putting things together and just letting you guys know. If you do have a luthier who does fix hammered dulcimers or harps in your area, then you can put it together. And if something happens, you can bring it to them and they can fix it the rest of the way. So you didn't waste your investment. That's all I'm saying. But also, okay, a lap harp, like, okay, an already made lap harp that has that many strings doesn't exist on Amazon because like they don't have one that big that as far for the inexpensive price. But I don't know. I'm frustrated with myself because I'm like, okay, well, at least the harp came out pretty good. The harp came out pretty good, but it's the harp was a really fun project. I really, really freaking rocked it. It was really fun. I really enjoyed that. But the hammer dulcimer was fun. I felt I learned so much from it. Actually, I will be honest. I actually don't have a workshop, so there were certain things I needed, like a circuit, and I mean, no, I'm sorry, a router. I needed a router, which is this tool to take like the edges off of the instrument. So I had to bring it to the wood shop workshop. There's like a maker space, and they had to fix it for me. So with both the hammer dulcimer and the hurdy-gurdy, I had to go to the maker space and have ask and donate money to them in order to help me with little things. Or else I wouldn't have been able to do it. Like these dowels need to be cut down to size with the hurdy-gurdy, and I had to bring it to them to fix it. Oh yeah. I mean it was such a project, like and then, this isn't just like, "Oh, well, I can just buy this tool and just do it in my apartment." Like, it wasn't like that at all. Like, it was like, "Nope, we need to go to this, like, special workshop where they're gonna fix this for you." And then you have to ask it was like a project because then, they would fix it for me or do something for me. Then I would have to go to somebody else and ask them for help with stringing it. because I would try to string it and it wasn't quite, and she would show me 1 or 2 strings and then I would go home and do the rest of it. And then I would have to take a lesson for her to show me how to tune it. So it's not not like, oh, very easy, it's like it was a project where you have to like push through different things that are going to arise that are going to be challenges, and it's like, oh, here's another challenge, what am I going to do now? And like there were so many times where I was like, well, I wasn't expecting this and I just want to give up. This is just like, for instance, I was over budget with the hammered dulcimer, and I realized that I needed a special drill press thing in order for those hitch pins to be in there properly. I'm not hitch pins, they're zither pins rather. And I didn't have the money for it because it would have been another $20 to donate to the makerspace. And then your whole project, and then I would have had to taught them teach me how to use a drill press. Oh my gosh, like, really? So, I mean, and by this point, I didn't even know how to use, like, a drill yet. So I did buy a drill and then try to keep my it as straight as possible, and I didn't. I just kinda freestyled it, and you can't really tell unless you're looking at it and looking for that problem. Like, "Oh, well, are these all in just perfectly so?" No, I did the best I could with what I had, and sometimes and then the teacher was like, "You can't use all that junk on that, you need to use tongue oil. You shouldn't be using all that crap on there." And it's like, "Okay." So yeah, so she taught me, she's like, "Oh, use this, don't use that," and so I'm just letting you know it's not for everybody to make your own instruments, and you might not save money, and if you're counting on that instrument, please don't. If you're gonna, I mean, it's almost better just to scout out eBay quite a bit, or shop Goodwill and see if somebody's like selling something for reasonable versus, investing and making it yourself and then really getting stuck, which is what happened here. Although now we have a perfectly working instrument, but it takes lessons, and it's not like, okay, so I think just to get it up and running, I ended up having to spend like 20, 30, about $80 just to take lessons as to how I should be tuning it. Just lessons in how to string, how to tune, so how to complete my instrument, and then can get advice. So, like, yeah, everything I do here as a beginning musician is on a budget. I try to do everything as least costly as possible. I am definitely going to be playing the hurdy-gurdy for a little while. I have an awesome book that somebody gifted me. I'm so excited about using. I'm taking a little break from it briefly because financially it's not in the cards to finish it right now, because I need to pay a teacher to help me figure it out and help me do it, or I need to pay her to work on it for me. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you for coming to my live, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye.